Yeah, I think it's right here.
Here?
I think so. Either here or the next.
This place
Nice turn.
out a little while ago.
What you see is 3 acres of forest. It was once, 3 years ago, a much bigger forest of 10 acres. We were able to have it protected because it contains habitat for an endangered species, the round-leaved greenbrier. One of the few places in Ontario that it's found. At first the developer refused to admit it was here, but we came here, we photographed it, and we got GPS location. Now, there was an Ontario Municipal Board hearing, and we only got 3 acres preserved, and the developer's lawyer, Ed Lustig, said that this is not a kumbaya moment. Well, it certainly wasn't a kumbaya moment. That means, Lord, please come here. What you see between the fence and the forest is an invasive species, Phragmites. This was not here when the forest was more intact. It came because of the disruption caused by all the development around here. Could have come on the machinery wheels. The Phragmites is an invasive exotic plant that is actually threatening what's left of the forest, threatening the roundleaf greenbrier. The Phragmites, as you can see, dominates everything between the fence and the forest. The fence was, I guess, created so people don't trample around and disturb the vegetation. The fence is useless against the Phragmites. Phragmites is a consequence of disruption. For a long time, the soil around here was left completely bare, which created perfect conditions for the Phragmites to get in. They wouldn't even leave a strip of natural vegetation all the way to the road. The area there where the forest used to be, it used to be full of vernal pools that provided breeding habitat for frogs. And they had buttonbush, a rare ecological community in these vernal pools. And now the frogs are all gone. You come here in the spring, this little 3-acre forest, you don't hear a single frog. It's a complete relic of what used to be. Now, what is even more outrageous is all this land in 1993 was largely an old growth forest. This has to be the worst assault on the environment that I've seen in Niagara in my lifetime. Talking about building in a place where you should not build, this is the classic example. And this spot on Oldfield Road was the best place in Niagara to hear tree calls of a very unusual species, the gray tree frog. Because it was a gray tree frog is a remarkable amphibian that lives in trees. One doesn't usually think of, a forest with trees living in the top of the trees. That's what they do to evade predators. A very unusual ecosystem. And in '93, when it was cut down, there was no regional tree biome. Now the forest we're going to see in Fort Erie is also at risk of being cut down. We're going to Fort Erie, And although that forest is protected by the tree bylaw, there's all kinds of devious scheming going on to get an exemption so the tree could possibly be cut down during the period that people have the right to appeal the decision to the Ontario Municipal Board. It's profound trickery that very good people are working on right now to prevent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Sign is.
Just a little past outside.
Just a little past there. And of those, there's a old growth forest of 3.8 hectares, and a third of that will be destroyed. So they're not even saving the entirety of the old growth forest, which is such a special place of a historic resort where a great event in history took place. The old growth forest is a habitat for the red-headed woodpecker, which is really severely endangered throughout eastern North America. And the forest that isn't old growth is planning to be completely wiped out. There's 12 hectares of younger but mature forest would be completely eliminated.
Hey, Jonathan.
I mean, in order to put down the forest, consultants, talk about the non-native trees, but they're minority. Now, this is good that I guess this tree is still alive. But you see, it's an aged tree, and that's what the red-headed woodpecker needs to live. That's why it's endangered. There are not many old growth forests.
Yeah, because see, we're coming out to the Lakeshore Road here,
Yeah.
and that road is
Okay.
actually going to extend
Well,
into the woods here.
Well, actually, this is very threatening because you can see that that's Lakeshore Road. So all those beautiful trees to the left are going to be lost through the extension of Lakeshore Road. That's the point, that they're not even saving the small part of this area that's an old growth forest. Some of it will be destroyed just through the extension of this road.
Yeah, the construction alone will
Yeah.
take out.
Basically, all the trees to the right of me would come down for this development.
Yeah.
And the tower is 10 stories tall, would be right immediately on Lakeshore Road, right in the path of the bird migration across Lake Erie.
Yeah.
And there's great fear of collision with the bird.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I was saying about the similarity, that this could be another Oldfield Road.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about Oldfield Road, they reduced it, same characters, Rick Brady, Lisa Campbell, Ed Lustig. They developed a plan to reduce that forest from 10 acres to 3.
Yeah.
You don't see any Phragmites here. Think of the impact of the disruption of this forest, of what would be left, and the invasive species that would come in. There's also would be the problem of light pollution. There are bats here, and you would have all these pets from all the people that would live here, that would eat the birds. So it's just a catastrophe waiting to happen.